Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Nancy Stanley, physical therapist, life and health coach. And this is day 5 of my 7 nights of health coaching. So if you haven't heard the previous 4 days, then I'd love for you to go back and just look through my feed and find that. Or if you message me, I'll send you the link for it. But tonight I'm talking about what is the diet? What is my program? What does it consist of? And I'm so excited about this. The reason I love talking about this is because there's so many wonderful, good foods. I mean, it's amazing, all the good. My clients tell me, I don't feel deprived. There's so many good things you can have. Now, I am going to be doing a giveaway. So if you, hey Rhonda, good to see you. Thank you for joining me. If you have never been in one of my programs and you message me tonight and we book a call, then I'm going to send you a recipe book from my challenge, and it's all the recipes that my clients have posted to me, and we put in a Google document. I'm going to print it out. I printed myself a new one today because we update this document a lot, and you'll have some amazing good recipes. So I hope if you think you might be interested, I'm going to open up this challenge next week. Actually, at the end of this week, which is today is Thursday, and I'm going to have about 3 or 4 days where you'll be able to sign up for this next challenge. So yeah, and you do that by booking a call for me. But today I want to talk about what is the diet, and it's really simple. Honestly, I can count it out on my hands, but I wrote it down because I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. But like tonight, we had grilled chicken that we had marinated and a vegetable, and it was delicious, you know, and I don't feel deprived. I feel like we got everything we needed. Okay, so meat, and preferably fatty meat, and the reason for that, and I'll explain that more when you're in the challenge. You let me just say, at the end of the 90 days of the challenge, you'll be an expert. You won't ever wonder again, what am I supposed to be eating? How am I supposed to be fasting? When am I supposed to be fasting? Can I eat this? Can I eat that? You'll actually know. But tonight, excuse me, I'm going to give you a summary. So fatty meat, so like we did chicken thighs. Chicken breast, the white meat, actually is going to have more of an effect on your insulin than the dark meat. So it's mixing the protein and the fat that actually has a better results and causes less rise in your insulin. Hey Dolores, thank you for watching me. Thank you for being here. Okay, vegetables. Now, the vegetables you're going to concentrate on are what we call your cruciferous vegetables, and that's like broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, greens, lettuces, asparagus, celery. Those are your cruciferous vegetables, and when we're counting our carbs, which that's the only thing we count, we try to keep our carbs around 20. Those carbs don't count. So you can have all of those you want, and they're delicious, especially when you steam them and you put delicious Kerrygold butter on them. They're just so good. So spinach and broccoli and cauliflower, just so many, and cabbage. Okay. Eggs, you can have eggs. Eggs is a wonderful thing to have, and you can have it so many ways. You can make it an egg salad, you can make shrimp salad or chicken salad. Just have a boiled egg or scrambled egg or poached egg. I love eggs. I made a dish the other night where you mixed up eggs and mozzarella cheese and mayonnaise and spread it on a steak that I had scored, and it was delicious. I thought I had some water here. Okay, so you can have some dairy, but it needs to be full fat dairy, because milk has carbs in it, has sugar in it. That's why so many people are allergic to milk, because it has lactose in it. So you don't want to be drinking milk, but you can have heavy whipping cream, and that's what I put in my coffee every morning, and it doesn't throw me out of ketosis. Okay, you can have good whole fat butter. Never do margarine again. It's plastic actually, and it has terrible effects on your digestive system. You can have sour cream. you just want to notice your carbs in some of that, okay? Like I said, you can have some dairy, you can have nuts. Your best nuts are going to be walnuts, pecans, Brazil nuts, macadamias, and I think I'm missing one. Cashews have loads of carbs in them. You never want to eat those again. But I love to toast pecans, and I gave out that recipe earlier this week of how to never burn your pecans again. Okay, so nuts and some seeds. You can have some fruit after the first couple of 3 weeks. But fruit, remember, has fructose in it, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But just really what fructose does to your liver. But you can have strawberries are going to have your least carbs, raspberries, and blackberries, okay? Peaches, apples, oranges, all of those are loaded with carbs, so they're going to cause your body to store fat. So it doesn't mean you can't ever have those again, but if you're counting your carbs and trying to start burning fat, remember I told you last night that if insulin is secreted in your body, if you have insulin, as soon as insulin is turned on, the fat burning goes away, all right? So it's going to throw you out of ketosis. All right, here's some things you want to avoid. You want to avoid certain oils. Now you can have avocado oil, you can have olive oil, you can have some coconut oil, definitely coconut oil, MCT oil, which is a medium chain triglyceride. I put that in my coffee. Hey Karen, thanks for joining me. I'm loving the transformation that I'm seeing in you. I'm so excited about it. I can't wait to interview you and find out really what's going on there. Okay, but you want to avoid corn oil, canola oil, vegetable oil, soy oil. These, I'm just going to tell you, when they're reducing those, and they use solvents, and actually it's been proven, they think now that this is the leading cause of cardiovascular disease or heart disease is these oils. So you want to get rid of those, get those out of your house. If I fry anything, I fry it in avocado oil, and I can reuse it about twice. So if I do decide to fry some organic French fries, which I do when my family comes, they love my battered French fries. I fry it in avocado oil, and I reuse that oil, you know, especially if I hadn't burned it. And avocado oil you can cook at a very high temperature. So that's one good thing about that. Okay, the other things you're going to avoid, of course, are bread, pasta, grains, cereals, chips, and sugars. And did you know that there's 61 different kinds of sugars? And so in the email that I'm going to send you tomorrow, so if I don't have your email, be sure and give me your email. Hit the love button if you got my email today where I talked about, what did I talk about today in the email? Oh, I sent out some videos of type 1 diabetics. I don't think I sent out a recipe today, but I did send out yesterday the keto bread, which is keto biscuits, which are delicious. Okay, so here we go. So I've told you what you can eat. I want to give you a little bit more information about fructose because I don't think I've ever talked about this before. And but you know, high fructose corn syrup is in. Just flip around your soda bottle. It's and even your saltines. It's like the second ingredient in so many things, and sometimes the first ingredient, especially candy bars. It's cheap to make, and it's very, very sweet. So the food industry uses it a lot. And look at America. No wonder we're struggling and we've got this diabetes epidemic. It's because of what we're eating, and it's in everything, okay? So you want to be eating foods that are single or 2 ingredient foods like broccoli and chicken and beef and pork. I love a good fatty pork chop, you know. I love good grass-fed beef. I love a good hamburger, you know. And those are all good things. But let's talk about fructose. First of all, fructose comes from fruit. So you would think, well, that should be good. Well, it would be if we used it in the original form that God gave it to us, all right? Hey, Sue, thank you for joining me. Okay, but what we've done is we take the fruit and we squeeze it. And so instead of having one orange, we have the juice of 5 oranges, and then usually it's been heated up to such a temperature that it's killed all the necessary good nutrients that we're going to have. So I haven't had a bottle of fruit juice in years, because I'm thinking, why would I just dump all of that fructose in my body? And when you hear this, you're going to probably never have it again either. And most fruit juice is not pure. Even if it says pure fruit juice, it's concentrated, but it's been heated up to a high temperature, and it's ruined what's available. So just eat an orange if you want to get that. The other thing that fruit juice doesn't have is it doesn't have the fiber mixed in with the fruit juice, and the fiber is what makes it less glycemic. Okay, makes the glycemic index a little bit better for you. So anyway, all right, so here's what happens, and there's a lot of confusion about fructose, but it goes to your liver, fructose, and it metabolizes just like if you drank alcohol. Okay, so here's some of the things that fructose, and we know what alcohol does to your liver. It causes fatty liver, cirrhosis, which leads to cancer of the liver disease. Okay, but one thing fructose does is it increases your triglycerides, and it increases your hunger, which makes you increase your food intake, and then it causes your body, you listen to this now, I don't know if you know this, I did a whole video on cholesterol. If you want me to send you that, then message me. I'd love to send you that video. In fact, I may put a link to it in my next email. But there's small density cholesterol, and then there's large density, or large fluffy. And the large fluffy are good. We need those. They float through your vessels, and they carry certain things like vitamin D, okay? The small density ones actually stick to the walls of your vessels, and that's what causes plaque, which causes heart attack. So fructose is one of the main makers that causes your body to make small density cholesterol, or small density LDL, all right, which causes plaque. It also fructose drives non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in a minute. But it causes a fatty pancreas, it causes a fatty heart, and a fatty tongue. You heard that right, a fatty tongue. Evidence is showing that these things cause fatty tongue, so you heard it here first. All right, so what this fructose does, because it goes to the liver and it has such an effect on the liver, is it causes fat around the organs, which is, deposited fat cells on the organ itself, like the liver, the pancreas. But it actually causes fat droplets in the cell, and they literally are inside the organ, all right? So it actually causes fat droplets inside the cells of the organ, not just on the organ. And that's why it's hard to reverse. So basically, what happens when you overload with carbs, like pizza with Coke or beer, or, donuts, or, a big old piece of cake, or whatever it is, lots of refined carbs, which we're doing all day long, sandwiches, cereals, those kinds of things. What you're doing is your body is putting all of its excess fat into your organs. Because remember, I've done a video on this, that whatever sugar your body doesn't need, which is only about a teaspoon for all of your blood, it takes it and it stores it as fat, which is what it's supposed to do. But we don't need all that fat on our body, but it's going to hold it there. So if you have fat around the middle, what that is the extra sugar that your body didn't need, that it's stored, okay? I want to give you a statistic here that 70 to 85% of diabetics have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, but it's very hard to diagnose because you can't pick it up in your blood work. It's not going to show in your blood work. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about something good and fun. All right, so I'm going to talk about some sugars that you can have, okay? So there's 61 different names for sugar, and these are the ones that are no-nos. So sugar, honey, agave nectar is actually harder on your system than regular sugar because it is a nectar, it's so concentrated. Coconut sugar and fructose. These are the, I'm just going to draw a line through them. No. Aspartame is also a no, and the reason is because the chemicals that it uses, and also there's studies that showing that sweet taste in your mouth causes your body to release insulin. So you don't want aspartame gum. You don't want to be drinking sugar-free drinks. And there's a big study that was done that showed that people that drink diet drinks gain more weight than people that drink regular drinks. They're not healthy for you. They're very addictive. So my clients come off of them and they love it that they're not hooked to those. Plus they're saving so much money. Okay, so here's what you can have. You can have stevia. It's made from a leaf, and it's actually, I use liquid stevia, which to me tastes better than powdered stevia. Excuse me, xylitol, and monk fruit. And monk fruit is actually a Japanese fruit, and it has some antioxidant qualities like anti-aging, and it helps with constipation, and they actually use it for diabetic treatment. Okay, so here's your call to action. I want you to give me your email if I don't have it, because I'm sending out emails every day, and then after this week I'll be sending, maybe 1 or 2 a week. I'm going to be talking more about brain health in the coming up weeks, so you're going to want to know more about that. And this diet or eating program that I'm talking about helps with brain health. It helps with clearing the fog, and I'll explain more about that later. But you can also go to my YouTube channel, Dr. Nancy Stanley. Oops, it's actually no period, just Dr. Nancy Stanley. And I've got lots of videos on there. I've got EY, sorry, can't even spell my own name. And then you can go to my website, drnancystanley.com. And I'd love to talk to you. So if you are listening to this and you want to talk to me further about it, I do a free consultation. I'd love to talk to you, and let's talk about maybe some of your issues. What are you afraid of? What I might be able to help you some more with. And if you book a call with me and we get on the call, then I'm going to send you our recipe book, and I think you'll enjoy it. I cooked one of those recipes last night, some stuffed bell pepper that's delicious. There's some wonderful meat crust pizza in there that's so good, and just on and on. So thank you for joining me, and let me hear from you. Hit the love button before you leave. If you're watching the replay, please hit pound and replay and share this video. There are people literally that are dying to hear it. So have a great day. Hey, Deborah, good to see you. Hey, Pat, thank you for joining me.